Greetings. My name is Claude Lawrenson, Director and Chair of the National Home Inspector Certification Council. I've been involved both as a home inspector and college educator in the School of Engineering and Technology. As such, also a representative of the National Initiative for the Home Inspection Sector. The focus of my presentation is about the future of the home inspection sector in Canada. For the past several years, the demand for home inspections has certainly experienced a significant decline. A number of market factors play a role in this decline. Bidding wars, walkthroughs, or some people call them walks and talks, and the pressure for short offer periods. Not all blame can be placed on the current market conditions, though, but also on the short-sightedness of the sector in general. Most people likely know that a home is one of the most expensive purchases for anyone in North America. Yet more and more homes are closing without a home inspection. Even a used car requires a safety check. One only looks to the news to find out what today's reality in the home inspection world is all about. Look at some of these headlines. You begin to wonder why car buyers would spend more time and consideration in buying a car versus a house. Ignoring a home inspection simply reduces an opportunity for disclosing the current conditions of a home. Far too many inspection conditions are being waived, thus endangering the opportunity for offering even some basic consumer protection. Aside from these circumstances, other changes such as licensing and pressure to bring home inspectors under professional acts, similar to engineers and architects, also seems to be just another concern. Even where licensing regulations exist within Canada, it's not uniform. On the other end of the sector, just about anyone can call themselves a home inspector. Even the various association certification requirements, their standards can vary significantly. What exists is simply confusion and a lack of a uniform national standard for the sector, but also confusion for the whole marketplace. In actuality, a uniform standard was proposed and created, but it was simply dismissed by too many of the associations since it was deemed to compete with their purpose. Back in the early part of 2000 to 2005, CMHC and HRSDC, as well as sector-based representation, invested heavily into a national certification standard. That was roughly to the tune of approximately $2 million back then. As indicated earlier, an occupational analysis was completed and a national certification standard was also developed. With these standards, it was also deemed vital that self-regulated bodies control the conduct and good character of their members through a code of ethics, as well as ongoing review regarding professional training and also continuing proof of their competence. To provide a little more clarification, there's certainly a distinct difference between a professional act for those such as architects and engineers and that of a home inspector. In fact, engineering is an entirely different type of investigation, often entailing detailed scientific measurements, tests, calculations, or even analysis. Architecture in the college system, on the other hand, was largely about designing and construction detailing of buildings and an understanding of how buildings are built. Home inspectors, like building technologists, are simply generalists. To become a specialist, an architect or civil engineer requires many more years of specialized education. As an example, a home inspector simply identifies abnormal conditions while the structural engineer evaluates the cause and significance and will provide recommendations. The home inspection report is factual, while the engineering report is simply analytical. A home inspection is primarily a visual inspection of readily accessible areas of the home. It is meant to give the buyer or even the seller an overview of the age, the condition, and the adequacy of major structural and building systems in the components that make up the house. A home inspection report provides a critical independent review of the current condition of a home. The DACOM study, along with the National Occupational Standard, provides a tool or resource which can be used to support education and training in the workplace for home inspectors. The Home Inspection Occupational Standard specifies what is expected of a competent performer. However, it does not specify how individuals should develop their skills and knowledge. That is generally where specific home inspection associations can set their own specific requirements. This is where a wide discrepancy for certification creates gaps in the quality of a home inspector and likely the home inspection service that will be provided. So the primary goal in my paper on Unity is about bringing the home inspection sector together. Yes, hopefully Unity all together. So yes, there are some differences, but when you consider mapping the requirements of the occupational standard to what a home inspector needs to know and what must be performed, there are certain noticeable variances. Home inspectors generally follow a set published standards of practice and code of ethics. The American Society of Home Inspectors, ASHI, published the first and most well-known standard for the home inspectors. Most every home inspection standard pretty much aligns or is derived from the ASHI standards of practice. Even today, the one published by CSA. These standards explain what duties the inspector owes their client. It states what is covered by the inspection and what is not. Fundamentally, it's a subjective visual survey of the conditions of the major components which are defined in a home. On the topic of certification, ideally a combination of construction experience, education, defect recognition training, along with practical supervised work in the field or mentoring would give someone the background required. Many individuals may be professionals in their own right, such as engineers or architects, but they do not necessarily make good home inspectors without acquiring specific training on home inspections. Hiring someone who's certified by a professional organization can also provide a bit more assurance that the inspector is hopefully knowledgeable. But only through education and advocacy in uniformity can the home inspection organizations cultivate a true thriving home inspection as a profession. For home inspectors, home inspection associations play an important part in the development and other social aspects for the sector, perhaps along with a few other benefits. But with every association competing on their brand of credentialing, in the lack of unity, there remains an area where huge gaps still exist. It is also questionable certification if it was not completed by an independent third party. Simply researching inspector association certification standards indicates major variations for retaining a certificate for any designation that currently exists. Worse yet, those lowering certification standards do little to help protect consumers. Lack of a common uniform certification credentialing system for the home inspector sector in Canada also leaves question in the minds of realtors and also other stakeholders. No wonder it's easy to be dismissed. So how can we be sure that a certification that has been awarded to a home inspector by a certification body is credible or even reliable? As one example this slide notes, appropriate separation must exist between certification and any education or training function to avoid conflicts of interest and to protect the integrity of the certification program. The source is noted there. The NHICC is a long-term member with a credentialing specialist on our team. Perhaps now it's about time, or even the right time, that we think about our importance, our value, and our claim about providing true consumer protection. As indicated earlier in the 1997, the Advisory Committee report indicated a lack of a common goal which can be shared by all members of the profession. Several other key points were noted: minimizing current turf battles, gaining access to expanding markets, and aggressively promoting the top certificate holders, and standardize, if not enhance, educational opportunities. I believe we are stronger and have many more advantages of working in unison rather than having others pick away and take advantage of those differences. I also believe there is a will to unify and better our profession along those common goals for the benefit of all and to improve the profession in the eyes and the minds of all stakeholders. As I stated, the NHICC's prime focus is credentialing home inspectors as an independent third-party credentialing body. It currently exists. The NHICC is not a home inspection association. It's not member-driven, and the focus is on raising quality and raising the bar for consumer protection through higher and more uniform and robust credentialing standards. Please feel free to download and review our business case, if you like, for nationalizing the private home inspection sector. It's available on our NHICC website. Do you need more information? Please visit our website or download the report as noted on this page. But last of all, thank you for your time and consideration. Certainly, if you want to join our initiative or get involved, simply email indicating your interests. Certainly, if you have other thoughts, we look forward to hear from you. Thank you.